What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I stumbled across a To Be Better Live and I just decided to full send a video that I wanted to make for a long time. I just want to say that I genuinely don't support them anymore. I don't really support them. That's basically it. I know that I have in the past. I've congratulated them on a few things. There are some things that have happened privately that I'm not going to talk about because they are just kind of, not supposed to be talked about. So we're gonna avoid those things and we're just gonna talk about how we feel today and watch the live. And I just wanted to publicly state out loud that I don't support them any longer because I have said in the past that I do support them. So going forward, I no longer support them or their content or what they do or who they are. I did a little drive-by past it. It was on my because I'm still subbed to them, I guess, and I saw it on the left side of my screen and they were live, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I wonder what this one's about. So I just popped in to take a look, and it was a little crazy, so I wanted to go back over some of the things they said.
Peach, I had never in my life had a role model or found anyone I looked up to until I came across your page. Models and celebrities just never clicked for me, but you did. The nurturing aspect of you, hearing your story, learning how you found your strength, the woman you used to be, and the woman you are now is incredibly motivating. You make me want to improve myself and heal a part of me that only a mother could understand. I hope that one day I could even be half the woman you are.
Pause. You weren't half the woman that you are.
What do you mean?
Where did that even come from?
I hope that one day I could even be half the woman you are.
Pause.
The person in the email or whatever says that she hopes to become at least half the person that Peach is, whatever Christine is, okay? And then Chris comes out of fucking nowhere and is like, you weren't half the person, but this was so not needed. What even happened here?
You were not half the woman that you currently are.
When I was toxic?
At one point in your life.
Oh,
Yeah, but why is he specifying that she wasn't? Because the fucking person that made the email said that she wants to be half the person that Peaches is. So he's like challenging nothing. He doesn't even know what the fuck was said.
I'm just thinking of like the foulest women.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, I'm gonna be honest. It was pretty bad. I will say that the things that she says about herself and what she did in the past is true. I mean, I wasn't great, but at the same time, I don't support them right now, like at all, because I have a lot of problems with them privately that I cannot talk about because it's a lot of bullshit, and I think it's bullshit. It's really genuinely bullshit. I think they really let this shit get to their head. That's what I think. They let this shit get way too big, and they had no control over it because they have no control over themselves. Is how I see it.
It doesn't matter how bad your life is. You have the ability to change it.
Yeah.
Like even if you're if you're the reason, that's the best fucking possible thing because you can be the reason to change.
I was a woman. I had a spending addiction. I would spend money and then I would ask people to help me pay my rent. I would be in a relationship and then I would download like random chatting apps that you talk with strangers just to get attention.
I can't believe she just like admits that out loud because like that's crazy. It's just crazy that she just admits this stuff like out loud on her YouTube and is like she's trying to take accountability. It sounds like, but like it's not. I think it's the opposite. I think what it is, it's that you were like a victim of yourself, and she's just playing like a victim mindset is what I think it is. I think she's actually just playing a victim in her own mind. That's just my opinion. That's just what I think about it. She's trying to get sympathy from people because, oh, I was a bad person, but now I'm better, and I went through the suffering and the struggle to get better. But what all really happened was he just paid for everything. He paid for her to completely change her appearance. He paid for her to like have the life that she has, and then they used that lightness that they paid for. They used that lightness to build this because of their appearance, I think, and that's insane. And they even talked about it in this live where they're like complaining about how people say that they're not licensed to do like therapy shit. Why would you like dispute that? Why would you argue against that and be angry about it and tell them we're doing it for free? Like why would you do that? Hang on. Yeah.
I would use Snapchat as a way to derive attention as well. I'd post pictures of myself and I mostly only had men on my Snapchat. So it was just a constant, oh my God, you look great, you look fantastic, so sexy, all of these kinds of things. Looking back, I would not have called it emotionally cheating. Me now, I 100% did that shit. almost every relationship that I was in. I was not a good person. I was controlling. I had very high narcissistic levels. I did not care if you were upset or whatever. I'm upset right now, so fuck whatever you have going on. We need to.
I never really thought that she was ever like actually cheating on me. Like I'd never really be mad that if you have like men in your DMs, like you're allowed to have a social life. But at the same time, I don't know what the fuck that she was like talking about to other people apparently. So clearly this is like news to me because I didn't really like know that she was like doing stuff like this until now, which is a little crazy honestly. But I mean, hey, whatever, you know. Either way, that's been long and gone and done. For I mean I've always had like, you know, she'll criticize me for this, but ever since our relationship ended, ever since our divorce ended, when I was dating throughout like the whole dating process, I just was upfront and honest with people. I said, hey man, like I'm not like a poly person, but I've always been like, you know, in a swinger community, and that's not something I want to admit on my YouTube channel because it's not something I ever wanted to bleed into my YouTube channel. But I think it's really relevant when talking about this specifically because they look down on stuff like that. And it's like I just want like open honesty and like straight. I don't want hiding. I think cheating is hiding stuff and like doing stuff without your partner. I think as long as you do things with your partner and prioritize your partner, I think that like it's more significant than just like hiding your feelings and like pushing those emotions away and trying to like not do those things that you want to do. I think it's just more important to be honest, and I feel like that they're just definitely not like honest people.
I was very combative. I enjoyed arguing.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
If I could
do
get the person
still.
I was with worked up and they would fight with me, it was a sense of love for me.
That's weird though. There's a sense of love for you. She did do that. She definitely did do that. She would deliberately argue with me on purpose, and I don't believe that it was a sense of love thing or like whatever the fuck that is. I genuinely believe she wanted to piss me off, to give me a bad reaction because I had no control over my emotions. So that way I would give her a bad reaction, and then she could point the finger at me, which she did, and it was, oh, look at him, he's the bad one. He did this, and that's pretty much exactly what I think that happened in our relationship, was that she deliberately tried to get me angry. I would give a bad reaction because I had no control over myself back then, which I do now. And she just was like, you did it. You're the bad. And basically that's how everything crumbled for us. That's exactly what happened, I believe.
It was a sense of they're fighting with me because they love me. If they didn't love me, they would just walk away. And that's a toxic mindset.
Wait. What? I don't mean to pause it like every 5 seconds, but what the fuck do you mean? Okay, so if it was that, which it kind of was, it was like I'm fighting with you because I want to work it out, right? Like you're being fucking awful, and I'm fighting back to try to prove my point and try to argue and debate with you because you're not getting it. So I'm trying to fight with you to work out the fucking problems, and you're fighting with me because it's a love language. Is that what you're telling? Is that what I'm getting? What the fuck? That is so weird. What? Why am I learning stuff about my previous marriage that I didn't know about? This is not what you told me, Peaches. This is not what you told me whatsoever. That is totally wild. That is actually insane. I've even said in one of my previous videos, I don't think she's ever cheated on me. I've said in Reddit forums that I don't think she's ever cheated on me. I've said online a lot that I don't think she's ever cheated on me, and here she is saying that she's just talking to other men in relationships. And now I fully believe that she just is that kind of person. I mean, don't get me wrong, I cheated on her. I don't feel remorse for it right now, at all. I mean, I'm over those emotions, and I don't care, how she feels about it.
I was addicted to my phone. Oh,
Yeah. No, I'm listening. So you were addicted to your phone?
we can move on.
I was just going to say that she wants to be half the woman that you are. If you weren't half the woman that you are, there's fucking hope for anyone.
Yeah.
Anybody can actually do the fucking work to change. We were both pieces of shit.
That took forever. That actually literally took forever for him to explain that. I think it's because he actually gave her the time to talk for like once, because I think we're very used to him just interrupting her. But I guess the whole point is that because she wasn't half the person that she was, then that proves that, you know, anyone can really do it. Anyone can get better. I guess that's kind of the entire point there.
I was addicted to my phone. My kids would be crawling around in diapers and I'm not interacting with them. They have all their toys. We have Coco Melon on the television. They're occupied. Why do I need to be doing anything right now?
That's crazy, because she'll think that, like, I guarantee you that if I dispute this claim, she'll try to say that I was like playing games and on my computer too. You played too much Smite, which is a load of hogwash. Honestly, like, I don't understand what she says by I was on my phone. I just let them watch Coco Melon and walk around. I don't really think she did that. Or maybe I just didn't pay attention enough to her because I didn't like her back then. But I don't really get that. I don't understand why she believes that she did that. I don't remember that like at all. I actually remember us both being pretty decent parents.
Got a super chat real quick before we go back to the email from Jade that says, this podcast changed my life to help me see my flaws, take accountability, and leave a dead-end relationship. Now I'm in the healthiest relationship I have ever had, a place I couldn't have imagined a year ago. Thank you.
Beautiful.
All we did, all of this is nothing but shared information.
Mm-hmm.
This is not, we're not therapists, we're not fucking doctors. There's no counseling here. This is trial and error.
Yeah.
We read this. It made a whole fucking lot of sense to us. We talked about it. Now we're sharing it.
We went to therapy and this worked for us. So now we're going to talk to you guys about it. People bitch about how expensive mental health care is, but we're here doing it for free. But because we're not licensed, they want to challenge it.
Yeah, because you're not licensed professionals. You can't fucking sit there and say that you can't. What the fuck? Because, oh my God, you can't sit there and make fun of the people who challenge your credibility for giving people mental health fucking advice when you're not mental health professionals. You can't challenge that. What you should do is say, I completely understand people challenging us. We're not fucking licensed, but we want to help out any way that we can. And, you know, it's completely valid to sit there and believe that we're not licensed, so we're not credible. That's entirely up to you to believe that. I don't want to give that impression. I want to help people as much as I can. Why wouldn't you just, like, be nice? Why are you being, like, a dick? Like, why are you being so defensive? Like, oh my God, they challenged me? Oh my God, they challenged me because I'm not a medical professional, but, like, I help people? Like, what the? That's so weird. That's so fucking weird. They are so fucking weird. Shit. And that picture of Chris is amazing. I'm screenshotting that. I paused that at like the perfect fucking moment. That is so going to the thumbnail. Oh my God. Bitching and complaining that people were having a very valid, credible point that you're not licensed to be fucking therapist or to give mental health advice. And then you read an email or whatever, email or super chat of somebody actually saying that you're fucking like gentle and all these nice things about you when you just had like a fucking tantrum. Like you actually just threw like a tantrum because somebody gave you like a legitimate like criticism. Like that's a real criticism that you should have actually took and like valued instead of just, oh, what the fuck ever. I do what I do and I do it good.
Ryan Reynolds here. From
oh no, Ryan Reynolds.
Or a video game. Don't judge a video game by its cover. If you're
What?
old enough to remember Nintendo, like the original Nintendo, you know that that's bullshit.
Yeah.
What? Where did that even come from?
Continuing on, the perseverance you showed in your
What, like, I don't know why you just talked about video games. I thought that they don't like video games because I'm pretty sure that they like taught shit about video games before, but okay.
weight loss path has given me the hope to start my own. Your candor about your experience with borderline personality disorder gave me the courage to go back to therapy and find the right medication for me. The way you have broken generational curses has inspired me to break my own. I need a second.
That's crazy because I actually think that she's very much just like her mother. Which is really fucked to say because her mom did a lot of bad shit. Sorry, I've tried to tell Peaches that she isn't her mother. Yeah, I really do believe that she basically is now. I mean, no offense to Gram, you know. Love you. Kids love you.
I know that a vast majority of our audience are adults. 20, 30, 40, 50 years
25
old.
to 35 is our key demographic.
I feel like a mother to every single one of them. We are reading emails or we're having interactions in chats and people are thanking us for something and all these other kinds of things. I just want to give the little them a hug.
Is she out of like Whitebeard right now? These are my sons. I just is she acted like Whitebeard but as like a mother instead of like a father?
I know that we've changed people's lives by the way that they interact with us when they see us in person.
Yeah.
Because there's always, it doesn't matter where we go. If we ever hit an airport, somebody's fucking crying and hugging us. I haven't done a Voice of the Broken in probably a month.
You made one about your book the other day.
No, I meant like an actual podcast episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done an actual podcast. I want to talk to men. I don't want to read emails.
Yeah.
I want a Zoom call. I want to sit down and actually talk to people. And if I
Talk to me, Chris. Why don't you talk to me? We were both broken at one point. I don't really feel so broken right now. But why don't you sit down and talk to me? Let's sit down and have a conversation and discuss things. Let's talk about the world, politics, the economy. Let's talk about social issues. Let's talk about men's mental health. Let's talk about the things that would actually make men's mental health better, which I do believe is to fix the economy and give them a natural chance to basically, off of most incomes, survive and live in a fucking home where the world isn't just a big giant pyramid scheme. That's what I believe. If you want to actually sit down and have conversations with men, then sit down and have conversations with men. There's plenty of people, I'm sure there's plenty of people in your fan base who are willing to do that, not email. I'm sure there's plenty of content creators that would 100% love to collaborate with you. It's crazy because there's so many content creators that 100% collaborate with me. Like, they don't have to be big. I mean, the Voice of the Broken isn't big. Like, it's under 10,000 subs. Like, it's not huge. There are plenty of small creators that you can collaborate with. They're everywhere. They're actually just everywhere. But there's plenty of people. There's 100% plenty of people that you could put on the podcast.
But I know that one, men aren't willing to have the conversations. It's hard for them. And two, there's a security thing there. Like, people don't want to fucking be on there and have their
Whole life.
coworkers hear that they were on a podcast talking about how they were fucking abused as a child. Like, there are certain things that like,
Hi. I love you.
I love you.
You're so pretty.
just not worth talking about. Like, it happened, and I'm okay. I'm not.
But I have myself.
Right.
But
Right.
oh, he's having like a mental health moment and is like, I haven't like unalived myself because like I'm okay. I'm okay. He looks like he's having a really hard time. Holy shit. I guess I kind of care about that because, you know, I should. But it's kind of hard to. Because the shit that he's done. the shit that they've done. It's kind of hard to care. But I mean, I care.
Eventually, my views evolved on almost every one of those topics, and I have recognized that you were right. It's like when your parents say you'll see when you're older, and then when you're older, you finally understand what they were talking about. And this might be cocky of me. This might be egotistical of me. I feel like my understanding is greater than my parents were when they told me that.
I believe.
Yeah, I agree with that. No offense, but I kind of agree with that. yeah. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad.
I think that you and I are so much further evolved than the people in our lives because of the work that we've put in over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have said that. 2 years ago, I have a whole lot of people in my life that are, I'm a baby to them. Like,
Listen, I'm all for saying that, like, I'm, you know, I don't understand my parents' perspective because there's reasons why I don't understand my parents' perspective. So that's kind of the whole you'll understand when you get older, you know, part of this conversation, this subject. But I don't understand saying I feel so much more evolved than all these people in our lives. I think that's a little bit out of pocket personally, because it's like we're talking about our parents and them saying that when you grow up, you'll understand. And like, I get that to a degree, and I do agree to some aspects, some perspective of it, like at a certain angle. Yes, some of the things that they said were very true, but some of the things that our parents also said were very homophobic. They were very like evil in general, like racist, you know. Some of the things that our parents said were bad, like really bad, and they still say it, and they still do bad things sometimes. So it's really like that's where I'm saying I feel like, yeah, we're better than our parents, and like we understand the world better because we have an outside perspective of how the world is working right now, and we have all this technology. We know that people are making money off of the internet more than they're making money off of hard work, but they keep saying hard work, which is the same thing that this fucking idiot is saying, hard work, which I love doing that on my own terms, on my own home, on my own content, on my own life, and on my kids' life. trying to make everything better that way, but not fucking just grinding into 2 jobs and suffering. And I don't believe in just suffering and then still not having enough money. I've had 2 jobs. I've had 2 jobs at the same time, and it still wasn't enough money. so I get that, but at the same time, I don't get the whole we evolved thing, like talking about the 2 years that we spent to make ourselves. What you spent was money. What do you mean? You bought all this shit. That's what you did. You bought all the mics. You bought all the audio interfaces and shit. I'm going to be like flat honest. Brother literally gave me a computer because he wanted the computer I'm using right now, not the microphone, but the computer that I'm using right now. He actually literally just gave to me because he wanted to be bros, because he wanted the kids and to be like, you know, us to do things with the kids together. He wanted dad and stepdad to be like cool, and that was awesome at the time, but then other stuff happened that I'm not going to talk about again because I'm going to keep the private stuff private. But like brother quite literally gave me a computer because they are very frivolous. They posted a TikTok getting a fucking 2025 Kia. It's not even 2025 yet. What do you mean? So like it's just unbelievable. It's just genuinely unbelievable that they just refuse to acknowledge that a lot of what carried them is their financial success. It's so unbelievable to just bring that up, like to not bring that up, because it's so prevalent. It's extremely important when discussing this. As a major podcaster or major content creators, I just don't really understand the point in not being humble and saying that they got lucky. If I was in their shoes, I would say I'm incredibly privileged to be in this position. I'm incredibly lucky. I would not say that I put the effort in to be here. I would never say that I put the effort in to be here, even though I kind of like, I feel like I did. Even if I feel like I did, it's still incredibly lucky to do so, because most people don't end up here, and it's not because they didn't try hard enough. It's because there's no huge demand. I've gone over this in one of my YouTube videos about the sunk cost fallacy. When we're talking about sunk costs, so like there's a huge sunk cost when it comes to content creation, because content creation just isn't going to work for most people, because most people have their regular content creators that they like look at every single day, and they're almost not frequently changing. Most people are not looking for new creators to look for, and that's a very real thing. And if you're not at least somewhat on par, if you're not having like 4K video, if you're not having good audio, if you don't have decent quality videos, if you're not being like as creative as you could possibly be, most people genuinely are just going to completely look over you or insult you. And it's really hard out there for content creators, and there's a lot of really good content creators that still don't get the recognition that they deserve for the effort that they put out. So I really don't understand being in a privileged position where you actually do find success just sitting down talking about shit, and then turning around and trying and not even talking about it, not even talking about how there's financial things that you did that having that large amount of money and buying all the equipment and paying people to be on your payroll and paying somebody to edit your videos or et cetera, didn't contribute to that. And acting like that you, for some fucking reason, are the sole reason why your success existed. Like you put the hard work in. I don't believe that. I think that is a load of hogwash. I feel like that is the furthest thing from being humble. Like actually,
I don't think that's the case now. And that could be ego, but I think that's life experience. We've been doing a lot. Like finding men that would talk about wanting. I honestly don't know. I don't know how I would even go about trying to do that, because
Men are so recluse.
it's not just that. They're liars. We have gotten people who have sent emails that just want to be
Recognized.
That's such a
recognized. They
general
want 15
thing.
minutes of fame, or they want to try to get on the
Then what you should do is you should tell them. You should sit them down, and if they actually are just there for clout, then you should tear them apart with debate, because you should be good at that by now, but you're not. If you're worried that people are going to get on there and lie for clout, what you should do is you should let them know that. You should, if that is their truth and that is the reality of what they are doing, then I mean, give them the mental health of it and say, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. You're kind of just full of shit. You're kind of absolutely just full of shit, and you're a bad person, 100%. And that's exactly what I would do to you if we were on a podcast together. And again, I do implore you, invite me. I will gladly sit down and have a good conversation with you about this stuff, because it is fucking ridiculous. You're so worried that men are recluse, and also you generalize by saying men are liars, but you know most people who do make generalizations are going to say that women are liars more than men. But like, I don't know. Most people are liars. I think people in general are liars, regardless of sex or gender. I don't think that this is relevant to what they're talking about. Like, being worried that someone is going to come on your podcast and lie is entirely on you as the host. You should probably prepare for stuff like that and actually genuinely talk to the person and tell them and let them know if they're full of shit or not.
On the podcast, and they tell stories. You can tell when you're lying in a fucking email.
Right.
A lot of that shit gets kicked back. Like, we don't even see it. We saw a lot of it in the beginning.
We did.
And then, you know, now that we got screeners, we don't see it as much. But I would absolutely like to
What
go
the fuck?
that route. If I could spend one day a month and do 4 calls and schedule all 4 of those calls for podcast recording, that's the month of work. Like, that's easy for me. It's 4 hours. Who gives a shit?
Right.
But as they realize that they can do it, they just have to learn the steps to do it and then put the reps in to make sure that they can do it properly. That should have been 5-6 years old, not 10.
Yeah.
That's the difference between an 80s baby and a 90s baby. Because my entire till I was 15 was spent on bikes and skateboards.
He's talking about the difference between 80s babies and 90s babies. Let's hear him out here.
6 years old, not 10.
Yeah.
That's the difference between an 80s baby and a 90s baby. Because my entire till I was 15 was spent on bikes and skateboards. You leave when the sun comes up, come home before the streetlights come on.
I'm a 90s baby, and I did that. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I'm a 90s baby, and I used to go out into the woods and into swamps and build forts and fucking ride bikes and skateboard. I used to play airsoft and paintball and shit. I used to do literally all those things in camp. I camped like every weekend when I was a scout. Like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. 80s versus 90s, baby. Maybe like 80s versus 2000s or something. I don't know what the fuck he's trying to say here. Because like everybody that I grew up with did what he's saying.
I do want to get to the point where we start interviewing people again. I really do. I know that they didn't do well. I know they fucking didn't do well in terms of numbers.
Yeah.
But it filled my cup. It allowed me to have conversations with people and learn new shit and have
I'm here.
social interactions.
I think if we do that,
I am here.
I'll sit on the sidelines as you interview people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like a third wheel in interviews.
Is it because I talk so much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
get
interrupts
into
you.
it. It's I am a social butterfly once I get to like comfortable with somebody, and it's just who I am.
Yeah, so I'm over this. I wanted to just basically come out and publicly say I don't care. Publicly say that I don't support this anymore, because I've definitely supported it in the past, and I've never actually sat down and publicly said that I don't support this, but I don't. I really don't. I think it's hooey. I think it's hogwash. I think it's bullshit. I just wanted to let you know my opinion on it. I can't go into private details. I would love to, honestly. I would love to talk about the private things, but I can't, and I don't want to. I don't want to, risk getting in trouble that way. Yeah, I don't want to talk about the things that I can't talk about yet until everything is public information. If at that point it ever does become public information. I just wanted to openly say that I have supported them in the past. I have genuinely tried to co-parent and be good with them. And I don't feel like that was really reciprocated to any capacity. I feel like they just do whatever they want, and then they just have all this control, all this manipulation. I think they just feel like that they can genuinely do whatever they want. Is my opinion of it, and you can take my opinion with a grain of salt. You could throw my opinion out the window if you want. You're 100% in your own right to believe I'm like full of shit. I support that. Go ahead. Genuinely, I want you to have your own opinion on it. I don't support them. That's just basically the entire point of this video. I just like was trying to make this video for a while because I didn't know how I really wanted to word it, but I just like stumbled across their live, like it just popped up on my feed, and I was like, all right, let's take a look. And then I found this, and yeah, kind of insane, because it's just grown to the point where they're so big, and it's I never thought I would have to really come out and say that I don't like them, because I always thought that they were going to try to stay civil-ish with me. There is stuff that's like happening, but I don't want to talk about it because I can't again, and I just don't want to get in trouble about talking about key details that are like important to things. unheard of. And it is what it is, guys. Leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below how you feel about the To Be Better podcast. And I will see you guys in my next video.
Complete.